Hi, everyone. It's Sharon here with Mac Senior and day 19 of our trip to Europe. And it starts out in our cousin's house. And I love her whimsy. She puts eyeballs on her cactus plants. Very cute. And so I just did a little bit of video of the inside of her house. She has two spinning wheels. I think they belonged to her husband's mother years ago. And this is just looking down the side of their house. They have a very cute house. And actually, we get on the road and we're headed towards a little village that is very, very old. And people are there doing the things that people used to do, hundreds of years ago. And we're leaving Miskolc right now, but we're headed for Istvan's property. He owns an acre of property that is totally unusable. And even if it were usable, right on the other side of it, there's a pig farm. And when the wind blows, it is a very bad smell. So here's the Lord of the realm videotaping his kingdom. I tease him about that. It does have a really pretty river that goes right past it, though. And we stopped at a mall to buy his mom a little cell phone, and I couldn't believe they had an actual little Apple display. And you're not supposed to take video inside this store, but Istvan kind of hid me with his body so I could bring these shots to you. And now we're at the actual town that has the little section of really old homes. And we had pizza in this place that had all of these pictures of old movie stars. I think that's Natalie Wood and James Dean, and of course Humphrey Bogart. And there's the Marx Brothers and John Wayne, and of course Scarlett O'Hara and Rhett Butler. And it was just really, really cool to see American stuff hanging on the wall. And so this is we're headed towards the part of the town that has the really old um, houses in that part of the village. And they all have these roofs. They're not really thatched roofs, they're made out of some sort of reed. And there's Istvan. And so this one it was sort of like, remember toll painting? And that's a darling little tiny spinning wheel. And I'm a spinner. I have a spinning wheel. I don't do much spinning anymore, but I used to do it a lot. And so this is just, old traditional um, folkware that they make and sell, and really pretty flowers in this little village. And I'm not sure which one this one had coffee, but it was also a gingerbread house. And so all of their cookies and stuff that they made there are made out of a gingerbread recipe, and then they decorate them with, white icing. And in a little bit, I was not supposed to film the people actually doing the work, but I stayed out of that room. Actually, you couldn't go in that room. And these are really old cookie cutters. And this is the gentleman that he's handing Istvan one that's a couple of 100 years old, and it's real heavy. And now I think I'm gonna sweep by the room. Yeah, there was a curtain that you could see through, and there's the people inside doing this decorating. And Istvan bought me this cookie. Set it lack means I love you. So he bought me that little cookie. And these houses are really small and so um, short. That's a really tall bed. All of the beds back then were really high off the ground. My favorite shop, though, that um, I don't know that you call it a shop. It is a shop because they sell stuff in there, but it was the pottery shop. And we'll get to that. But I loved the detail in these buildings. They're just exquisite. And I've seen these flowers before. We have them in America, but I've never seen such vibrant color. My camera almost couldn't record it. It was so bright red. And isn't that gate beautiful? It's just really, really a sweet little village. And this is the village well. That's how they got their water a couple of 100 years ago. And so now we're headed to the pottery house. And we bought a wonderful piece of pottery to put our kitchen utensils in. And these are pyracantha bushes, and I have yet to see a red pyracantha bush. They're all orange. So this is a display of some of the pottery that they make in this little shop. And I didn't get a good video of this clock, but it was really exquisite. And these are some of the things that they make. Istvan tried out a bunch of bells because he wanted to get one that he could ring. That's all of their clay. But he wanted to buy a bell because instead of saying regale, which means breakfast is ready, he wanted to be able to ring a bell and have me hear it and know that it was time to come eat breakfast. And I think we bought the one right next to the guy. I think that's the one we bought to take home and put our kitchen utensils in. I really, really liked this guy's pottery. Well, it wasn't just him; it was him and his wife. And pretty soon, you'll see her doing the painting. It's all hand done. And this is their pottery wheel. And here she is painting away.
You like something else, Cheryl?
No. Can you imagine doing that? Having a steady enough hand to hand paint all of these different plates. So Istvan asked if she would show us what she was doing, and she said sure. So she kind of continued on, and I think I went and videotaped one that's done that shows the finished product. That's halfway finished, and then that's the finished product. There's apparently 100 different names for different plates. Now, there's a plant coming up that I want to show you. How many of you ever were forced to take castor oil? Ugh, the bane of my childhood existence. That is a castor plant. It is one of the most beautiful plants. But oh my God, I hated castor oil. And my mother made us take it every time we got a sniffle. This was a really pretty mimosa tree. It just kind of surprised me to see one there in Hungary. And their little town square was really a pretty thing with flowers all around the border. And I thought it was lovely. And when I found out that Egger was not that far, I asked him to take me because this is a very famous part of Hungary. It has a lot of history about where a big battle was fought between the Turks and the Hungarians, and there was way more Turks than there was Hungarians, and the Hungarians absolutely outlasted them. And I think I said to you all in a previous video that one of the reasons, or that the reason the Pope caused the bells of the Catholic churches to ring at noon all over the world was because King Istvan made the Hungarians become Catholic. But I don't think that's true. I think that's why the Pope sent him that crown. But I think that the reason the Pope declared that the bells would all ring at noon is because the Hungarians beat back the infidels. and the Turks were the infidels because they were not Catholic. And so anyway, we didn't go down and see the 3D cinema. But anyway, so this is Eger, and there's actually, that was an old casket. I'm not sure what it was doing there, but there's also a minaret near here that the Turks erected, and even after the Hungarians beat them back, the Turks did eventually come and overwhelm. There's the minaret. The Turks did overwhelm the Hungarians, and after the Hungarians got Hungary back, they didn't tear down the minaret, which I thought was interesting. So this is just more photos or a video of the castle. I picked up a little rock. I like to bring home rocks from different places. And the next scene's coming up is, remember I showed you the wooden church that is very near our cousin Augie's house? Well, turns out she does the books for this church, and it's a Lutheran church. And so she knows the guy that has the keys, and tonight he opened it up for us and took us inside. And it really is an amazing church. It was first built in the 1700s, and it has burned down twice. This particular one was rebuilt in 1999, actually just a year before I came to Hungary for the first time with István in the year 2000. So it was really brand new then, but they built it in the same style, and it's really pretty. All of these things are hand carved and then placed on the wood. Now, these are, I wanted to take you upstairs so that you could see what it looked like from up in, like, I don't think it's the choir loft. I think it's just more seating up there. But here we are upstairs looking down on the church. And they have a little padding on each seat. And then in a little bit, you'll see that Cousin Augie went up there and played the organ. The organ's very cool. That's Cousin Augie talking to, I don't know what they call that guy, but he is the one that has the keys and let us in. That's a picture of them carving those little figures that was placed on the wood, like a hand holding a heart. These narrow little stairs going up there. This is me looking down at the church from where the organ is, and I think I tried to videotape myself. Oh yeah, I'm going to open up the doors to the organ and try to keep my camera going at the same time. So there's the organ. And it has two different bell sounds, and so here the guy is going to show me how the different bells sound. That's the little bell. And
This is the big one. That's the other one.
I just can't believe all the hand-carved wood in this church. It must have taken them forever to make it. Okay, and so this is looking up at the organ, and here they are. And this doesn't show the size, but there's little tiny songbooks. And this is in back of the church, and this property or this cemetery does not belong to the church. This cemetery is from the medieval times. Well, was the 1600s medieval or the Middle Ages? Anyway, I love this cemetery, and this is actually István's grandparents' tombstone with the church in the background. And here we are back home at dinner, all of our family around us, and oh, this was delicious soup. And this is how they do salt and pepper. And dessert was wonderful. So that's the end of day 19. Thank you all for watching, and I'll be back with really good video tomorrow too. I'm excited about what I'm going to show you tomorrow. Bye, everyone.